ICC deals a big blow to Mohsin Naqvi, rejects Pakistan's request to remove Andy Pycroft from the referee panel over the handshake row during Asia Cup. Over 2 crores in cash and jewellery seized during raids at Assam bureaucrat Nupur Bora's residence. Assam Chief Minister says the officer was under surveillance for last 6 months over complaints of her involvement in controversial land dealings. Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif are likely to meet US President Donald Trump on the sidelines of the UNGA in New York later this month. Reports indicate Pak Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir to also be about. Cloudburst triggers flash floods in Uttarakhand's Dehradun. Several people are missing. SDRF and NDRF teams have been rushed for rescue operations. Prime Minister Modi dials Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami to review the situation. Our top focus comes from our neighbourhood, that's from Pakistan. Months after India destroyed several terror establishments in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir during Operation Sindur, now a Jaish-e-Mohammed commander has admitted that Masood Azhar's family, the terror group's top commander and the first family, was torn into pieces during that strike. This commander has also now accepted that it shattered the group's internal morale as well. The admission validates India's intelligence assessments that Bahawalpur remains the JEM's nerve center despite Pakistan's denial to the Financial Action Task Force and several other international bodies. Top intelligence sources have also revealed to CNN News18 that while Pakistan Army's media wing continues to project JEM cadre as innocent civilians and attempts to cover up the strike's true impact, the revelation now exposes both the JEM's deep roots in Bahawalpur and Pakistan's duplicity. Siddhant, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more perspective on this. Siddhant, intelligence sources here in India, of course, are pointing exactly to this, and this is what we will now take to the world, of how even those within this terror organization's hierarchy are admitting to the damage that India did during Operation Sindur.
Well, that's right, Poonam, and also, Poonam, it proves the point that this was in a response to the Pahalgam attack, which was orchestrated by Pakistani state. And in this response, India only targeted terror camps. No civilian or military sites were hit. Because if you remember, Poonam, right after the May 7 strike by the Indian Armed Forces, Pakistan tried creating this global narrative that civilians have been killed. Those were the civilian structures, etc., etc. But this is coming from the top Jaish-e-Mohammed commander. In fact, he's saying that Masood Azhar lost his relatives and friends in the Indian strike. So, it confirms that that Indian armed forces only targeted terror camps in Pakistan, and second, that because of which the terror groups which enjoy support of the Pakistani army, perhaps they lost their people, the terrorists were killed, their families were killed, and perhaps that was the objective of the Indian Armed Forces. So, in fact, before this also, Poonam, many times India gave evidence to the international community. In fact, the state funeral, if you remember, Poonam, the army personnel attended the funeral of the terrorists right after the strike. So, India kept on exposing Pakistan that this May 7 strike was in response to the Pahalgam terror attack, and India only targeted the terror camps which have been mushrooming in Pakistan from a long time. In fact, India had sent multiple dossiers also to the Pakistani government to act against these terror camps. Even those details have also been shared with the international organization. But since there was no action taken against these terror camps, so ultimately after Pahalgam terror attack, India decided to hit deep into Pakistan and destroy these terror camps. So,
right.
It's the first time confession coming from a top Jaish-e-Mohammed commander, where he is confessing that how Masood Azhar's close relatives, those who were terrorists, were killed in the Indian strike.
Right, Siddhant, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. Pakistan and its former cricketers are now stooping to a new low. Former Pakistani cricketer Shahid Afridi has, while praising Rahul Gandhi during his criticism of the Modi government, compared Israel and Gaza to what's happening in India. He said the Congress leader has a positive mindset. Now, Shahid Afridi is somebody who's been openly critical of the Modi government in the past as well and has often lashed out at the Modi government's policies such as the abrogation of Article 370. But this time, him naming Rahul Gandhi and his so-called positive attitude has given ammunition to the BJP, who seized the moment to attack the grand old party. The BJP says that all those who are against India find a friend in the leader of opposition here.
गवर्नमेंट बार बार मैं कह रहा हूं जो हमेशा मजहब कार्ड खेलती है, मुस्लिम हिंदू कार्ड खेलती है अपने आप को पावर में लाने के लिए, ये बहुत ही गंदा किस्म का माइंडसेट है, गंदा किस्म का। ये उस वक्त तक रहेगा जब तक इनके बड़े यही हैं, ठीक है ना। इनके अच्छे हैं, जैसे राहुल गांधी की अगर मैं बात करूं, राहुल गांधी बहुत पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट वाला आदमी है। वो डायलॉग्स के जरिए वो हर एक के साथ चलना चाहता है दुनिया के साथ, लेकिन ये टोटली पाकिस्तान, आई मीन के कम ऑन यार, एक इजराइल काफी नहीं है कि तुम यहां पे इजराइल बनने की कोशिश कर रहे हो।
ये रिश्ता क्या कहलाता है? हम तो हमेशा कहते हैं कि आईएनसी का मतलब इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस नहीं, इस्लामाबाद नेशनल कांग्रेस है। और देखिए ना, जो भी भारत विरोधी है वो भारत विरोधी का हाथ हमेशा कांग्रेस और राहुल गांधी के साथ। शाहिद अफरीदी जो भारत की सेना के खिलाफ, भारत के लोगों के खिलाफ और आतंकवाद के पक्ष में बोलता है, जो एक आईएसआई एजेंट की तरह बोलता है, आज उसने भूरी भूरी प्रशंसा की है राहुल गांधी की और कहता है कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी तो जैसे इजराइल गाजा को ट्रीट करता है वैसे पाकिस्तान को ट्रीट करते हैं। पर यह शाहिद अफरीदी राहुल गांधी के कसीदे गाता है। हाफिज सईद ने भी कहा था कांग्रेस अच्छी पार्टी है। आज राहुल गांधी बताया कि हर भारत विरोधी का हाथ, जो भी भारत के खिलाफ बोलता है, जहर उगलता है, षड्यंत्र रचता है, सोरोस से लेकर शाहिद अफरीदी तक, ये राहुल गांधी के साथ ही क्यों नजर आते हैं और कांग्रेस के साथ इनका रिश्ता क्या कहलाता है, सैयारा क्या कहलाता है?
The Congress has now reacted to the BJP's allegation. Supriya Shrinate has posted a photo of BJP leader, Member of Parliament Anurag Thakur with Shahid Afridi. That's something that's now given ammunition to the Congress as well. Even as we see the fight that was started by Shahid Afridi now spill over here between the BJP and the Congress back home. This is the tweet that you see on your screens that is put out by Supriya Shrinate, where a picture of Anurag Thakur and Shahid Afridi is being posted by the Congress, even as the BJP is trying to question and use Shahid Afridi's words to question the Congress party. The Congress there trying to turn the tables on the BJP. Pallavi, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more details. Pallavi, what Shahid Afridi said has definitely had a spillover effect between the BJP and the Congress here back home?
See, the point is, Poonam, every time the Congress is caught on a back foot, especially because they've always been accused of speaking a language which emboldens Pakistan, which helps Pakistan, which seems pro-Pakistan. So whenever Rahul Gandhi has made any comments, for example, calling us a dead economy, for example, attacking the Prime Minister abroad, it has always boomeranged on the Congress, and that is the reason the BJP has often attacked them for speaking a language which only helps Pakistan. Now, the latest comments which are coming in from Afridi endorses at the BJP's point of view and the perception about Rahul Gandhi, look, now the Pakistanis are calling you a good leader, they're calling you a fine leader and praising you. That is where Supriya Shrinate has come back with a huge attack, accusing the BJP, coming out with a picture of Shahid Afridi along with Anurag Thakur. But the point is that this was as a part of a game, it was a part of a match. But the point is that will someone from Pakistan at this point of time praise the Prime Minister or the government? No, because they have been facing, the wrong end of the stick. The Operation Sindur repercussions are being felt very much. Now, whenever you have Pakistani voices praising Rahul Gandhi, and I remember Manishankar Iyer had also gone to Lahore at a book session where he had said that, he should become the leader because he can become the icon for Pakistan as well. That point of time also it had not gone down very well, and the BJP since then has been criticizing Rahul Gandhi for speaking a language which is very pro-Pakistan.
Now, Pallavi, this picture that has been posted by the Congress party by Supriya Shrinate of Anurag Thakur and Shahid Afridi, do we know when this is from?
See, so again, the timeline has not been given out by the Congress party, but they are saying that this is a very, very recent picture which has been put out. In fact, there's another picture which the Congress is repeatedly putting out of a smiling Anurag Thakur at the Dubai match, making the point that look at the way they are holding a match at a time when Operation Sindur repercussions are still being felt when the Pahalgam terror attack has not yet been avenged. So I don't think you're going to see the end of it. It's a fact, Poonam, that the Congress has always been caught on a back foot as far as the Pakistan issue is concerned. When you publicly go abroad and you compare the Prime Minister, when you attack the BJP, you compare the RSS as like a militant organization, like the Muslim Brotherhood, naturally, those naysayers of India, those who are enemies of India, like Pakistan, will always use that to justify the needs.
Right, Pallavi, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. But even as we see that politics play out here back home between the Congress and the BJP, Pakistani cricketers, ex-cricketers are stooping to a new low. It's not just the defeat on field that seems to be stinging, but India's refusal to shake hands with Pakistan has also hit the Pakistani fraternity hard. It has prompted now for another ex-Pakistani cricketer to use foul language against Indian players, specifically the Indian skipper. Several former Pakistani cricketers, in fact, have now gone one step too far, including Shoaib Akhtar, who are abusing Indian players after the no shake hand controversy. In fact, now former Pakistani cricketer Mohammad Yusuf has used a derogatory term to abuse Captain Suryakumar Yadav during a live television debate in Pakistan. The derogatory remark has sparked outrage amongst the Indian fans as they seek apology for this particular behavior. Shivani, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more perspective on this. Shivani, during that particular live debate, not once, not twice, but at least 3 or 4 times, he used that particular term to refer to Suryakumar Yadav, even when the anchor was trying to correct him.
Yes, it was obviously very, very deliberate. He had come with an intention to, denigrate Suryakumar Yadav. He, twisted his words to make it sound like swar, which is pig. So, it just kind of shows you the mindset, because this has been, I don't think in past there has been such a, low comment that has been made by a Pakistani player against someone that you have not even faced, you have no rivalry with, etc. on field. It's not like you're talking about something that has happened on the field between you two, etc. Just because of pure hatred towards India and the Indian team currently, because of their policy to not shake hands with the Pakistani side. This abuse has been meted out to him. But it only goes on to show the mindset of the Pakistani establishment, including the cricket establishment, because this is coming from former cricketers, and often they talk about India-Pakistan relationship in glowing terms, or they talk about their friendships when they used to play in their day. But all of that over the years we have seen has been a veneer. Plus there has been many stories, personal stories, that many cricketers have come out to tell about what used to go on between players, not just in the Pakistani dressing room, but even between the players at that time. So it's a very, very religiously radicalized mindset. You notice on the Indian side, no personal comments have been made. No comments on Pakistan at all have been made. It's just solidarity with your own country. But in Pakistan, the narrative is very different. It's about hitting out at India, and it's about denigrating the Indian players.
One would say, what else can they do given the poor performance of their players on field? But Shivani, thank you so much for getting us that perspective. Shifting focus now, the Enforcement Directorate has summoned former Indian cricketers Yuvraj Singh and Robin Uthappa in connection with its investigation into the alleged illegal online betting platform case. Actor Sonu Sood has been summoned in the same case as well. Robin Uthappa has been asked to appear before the agency on the 22nd of September, which is next week, to record his statement under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Yuvraj Singh, on the other hand, has been called a day later. He's somebody who's appeared before the agency in the past as well. Sonu Sood has been summoned on the 24th of September. So for 3 consecutive days next week, the Enforcement Directorate is going to be looking at this particular case. And it's not just these 3. There are several other celebrities, several other film stars, cricketers that have been summoned, or at least have been under the lens of the Enforcement Directorate for endorsing these online betting apps. Urvashi Rautela is one of them. Ankush Hazara, former TMC MP Mimi Chakrabarti are all under the scanner in this particular case and have received summons over the last couple of days. Anshul, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more details. Anshul, this is one particular betting app that we're given to understand where the investigation is now headed, because of which Yuvraj Singh and Robin Uthappa have been summoned next week.
Well, yes, this is just one betting app, the case that is being investigated by the headquarters of the Enforcement Directorate itself. The Delhi team is investigating this entire matter, and in this matter, it is suspected that the turnover of that entire company could be more than 1,000 crore itself, which means that it was a company that was already churning out a lot of money. Now the Enforcement Directorate at this point in time needs to find out if at all these celebrities who have now been summoned by them, if at all they knew that they are promoting an illegal betting app on the social media platforms. If they didn't know, then why did they actually go ahead and promote such apps? In lieu of promoting these apps, was any sort of money that was given to them as well? So all these questions are something that the Enforcement Directorate needs to find its answer to, and also the people who are being summoned, their bank account details are also being looked into from the side of the Enforcement Directorate, just to figure out how much amount was actually transferred by the company 1xBet app to all these celebrities to promote it, because even if a single penny is given, then that amount of money will actually fall under proceeds of crime, which could eventually mean that the Enforcement Directorate could go ahead and attach the entire amount, or probably the entire bank account as well. Today, Urvashi Rautela was actually summoned, but even till now, she hasn't arrived in front of the Enforcement Directorate. Neither she has given any communication regarding her availability or unavailability. And the Enforcement Directorate is still waiting for any sort of a mail or any legal communication to come in from the side of Urvashi Rautela as to what is the reason due to which she has decided to miss this summon. Because remember, this is the second summon that has been issued to her, and she has not even arrived once in front of the Enforcement Directorate. So troubles for Urvashi Rautela could also increase because of the manner in which she is trying to ignore these summons that are being given from the side of the Enforcement Directorate. Fresh summons are expected to happen very soon, and the Enforcement Directorate will now issue a fresh date for Urvashi Rautela to come in and join into the investigation.
Now there are several other South Indian actors that were also under the scanner that were given to understand is another case, another betting app that the Enforcement Directorate is looking at. We had the likes of Prakash Raj and Rana Daggubati who were also summoned and who appeared before the agency a couple of weeks ago.
Well, yes, this is a separate case that is being investigated by the Hyderabad unit of the Enforcement Directorate. This initial FIR was filed in Hyderabad itself, and then eventually the Enforcement Directorate took over the entire investigation and eventually summoned all these superstar South Indian actors. But the allegation in both these cases remain the same. The premise of the case is actually same. The FIRs are also almost similar, based on which the ECIR has been registered. In that case as well, the Enforcement Directorate had reasons to believe that these celebrities went out of turn and tried to promote an app which was absolutely illegal, and hence somewhere or the other tried to instill confidence amongst their fans, amongst their followers, due to which these people went ahead and invested their life savings in such betting apps, and eventually the company siphoned off the entire money, leaving nothing for the people who had invested in such apps as well. So definitely the case is similar, but yes, these are different cases that are being investigated by the Enforcement Directorate, and specifically in this 1xBet app case. In this case, 4 cricketers have already been summoned, 4 superstars have also been summoned by the agency till now, and the list is long. There are more celebrities and more superstars who could actually be summoned by the Enforcement Directorate over the next few days. We know that Robin Uthappa has been called in to join into the investigation on the 22nd of September, whereas Yuvraj Singh has been asked to join the investigation on 23rd, and Sonu Sood on the 24th as well. It remains to be seen, will all these celebrities now come in and join into the investigation to help the ED take this entire investigation forward.
Right. Anshul, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. Now, the Assam police has arrested an Assam civil service officer, Nupur Bora, for allegedly possessing wealth that's disproportionate to her income. The Assam Police Chief Minister's vigilance team yesterday raided Bora's residence in Guwahati. They seized approximately 90 lakh rupees in cash and gold jewellery worth 1 crore. The total value of the recovery that has been made is estimated to be at about 2 crores. Besides this, 10 lakh cash was also recovered during a raid at her rented apartment in Barpeta. Now, Nupur Bora was arrested soon after the raid and booked for possessing wealth that's disproportionate to her income. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, while labelling huge charges against Bora, said that the officer has been under surveillance at least for the last 6 months.
অসমত সংখ্যালঘু অধ্যুষিত অঞ্চলসমূহৰ ৰেভিনিউ সাৰ্কুলত বহুত বেছি দুৰ্নীতি হৈ আছে। এই বিষয়াগৰাকীয়ে আমাৰ হিন্দুৰ মাটি সন্দেহযুক্ত মানুহলৈকে ট্ৰান্সফাৰ কৰাৰ কাৰণে তেওঁক আমি স্ক্ৰিনিঙত ৰাখি থৈছিলোঁ 6 মাহৰ পৰাই তেওঁৰ গতিবিধি আমি চাই আছিলোঁ বৰপেটাত ৰাজচক্ৰ বিষয়া হৈ থাকোঁতে হিন্দুৰ মাটি তেওঁ সন্দেহযুক্ত লোকলৈ টকা লৈ পেলাই হস্তান্তৰিত কৰিছিল আৰু সেইকাৰণে আজি আমি কঠোৰ ব্যৱস্থা লৈছোঁ
Niloy joins us, getting us more details of where exactly the investigation stands. Niloy, the Assam Chief Minister there also confirming that this officer was under surveillance at least for 6 months. Has the investigation revealed details of any other senior officers that she could be in touch with that could be a part of this nexus?
Pooja, the investigations are on. At this time, both the accused are in the court. In the court, all the items seized from the possession has been produced in the court. So, you have mentioned about that cash near about now over 90 lakhs have been recovered and ornaments worth 1 crore has been recovered. If I can detail out the ornaments. Now, 17 gold chain has been recovered. 2 diamond necklace have been recovered. 15 diamond rings have been recovered. 3 diamond bracelets have been recovered. 3 flats in Guwahati, 3 land in Guwahati, and from the house, 92,50,400 rupees have been recovered. Now, this is recovered from a civil servant who has worked for 6 years, junior civil service officer, revenue circle officer from Borpeta, and in 6 years, like this is what she has amassed. Now, as the Chief Minister says, this is 400 times her actual income. Chief Minister, as we have played the interview of the Chief Minister, where he has categorically said that this particular civil servant was under surveillance. The Chief Minister has suspicion, and the CM Vigilance was behind her. They were tracking her, and finally, after she returned from a resort, she was held up by the police and now produced in the court. And along with her, the mandal of that particular revenue circle was involved. Now, this mandal also have numerous flats, properties, lived a very lavish life, and he also possibly have amassed a wealth which is even more higher times than Nupur Bora. So this is this, as the Chief Minister has said, that this she has done just by altering land documents. In Borpeta, what she has done, that she has transferred Hindu lands to minority Muslim buyers. And this is not possible in Borpeta because according to a government law, the land in and around a Shatra or a Vaishnavite monastery, 5-kilometer radius cannot be transferred. And what she has done, she has transferred most of the land of a particular Shatra in Borpeta to minority Muslims. And doing so, he has taken in every step, making notary, making deed, making agreement, making sale deeds, the permissions, and mutations, and everything. She has a rate fixed for that, and her mandal and other lower officers and other bigger officers in the revenue department connived with her in making the entire deed.
Right, Niloy, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. We will, of course, keep an eye out on where the investigation leads from here on. Moving on now to the Supreme Court appointed SIT, which has given a clean chit to the Vantara Zoological Rescue and Rehabilitation Centre. A bench of Justices Pankaj Mittal and P.V. Varale yesterday took the SIT report on record, noting that authorities are satisfied with Vantara's compliance and regulatory measures, especially when it comes to acquisition of animals. The court observed that Vantara is in strict compliance with all laws and that also warning petitioners to not tarnish the image of Vantara. In fact, I spoke earlier this afternoon with Shardul Singh, the advocate representing Vantara. Listen in to what he had to tell us. Why do you think it is that these allegations came to the fore in the first place?
Well, I think since 2021, we have been facing a set of allegations from several quarters, whether it is domestically certain conservationists or as we would like to really call them, armchair conservationists who don't go to the ground. People like these within India, people like this internationally were making allegations against us from almost day one. And I think it was just a matter of time that all these allegations would snowball into an application or a petition like this in the Supreme Court, and that's what happened.
Now, the SIT and the Supreme Court both found that these allegations were completely baseless and that there was absolutely no merit in it. In fact, this was a Supreme Court appointed SIT as well, isn't it? Shouldn't now this be seen as an example of what India could do as far as animal conservation goes?
Absolutely. There is a clean sheet by the SIT, which you can see from the summary that is attached to the order. The Supreme Court has accepted the entire summary as is. And the Supreme Court now closes all issues. So, in short, we've been tried, we've been tested, and we've come out victorious in one way. And as the court did orally remark, that's not a part of the order, that if someone is doing something good in India, it must be appreciated. In any event, I think what has been said at Vantara is a international benchmark, and we would always call upon people to sort of follow it, emulate it, come with us, help us, collaborate with us, and go on.
Delighted for two things. One is that they've got a clean sheet, and the second is that the SIT did not take so long. Normally, when SITs take months, then there is uncertainty, and everybody suffers. I have been to Vantara, and so have all my people. It is an excellent, it is beyond excellent. It's one of the best in the world. Every animal that has been taken has been recorded. There has been, their medical help, their behavioral, psychological help is beyond par.
Ms. Gandhi, given the fact that so many serious charges were made against Vantara when it comes to the acquisition of animals and even the treatment of animals, clearly the SIT went into all of those details. Do you see that looking at something so world-class as Vantara, there were always these vested interests who were trying to tank its reputation?
No, in India we have this habit that if we have anything good, we immediately try to bring it down to the level of the very bad. We are very, very happy with mediocrity. We are never happy when somebody shows us the way. This experiment or this institution, Vantara, is something that all our zoos and rescue centers for animals, for wild animals, should emulate instead of trying to bring down.
Right. And Ms.
I hope that after today, I'm going to say two more things.
Yeah.
One is that I hope after today, nobody will be foolish enough to put charges. But more than that, I'm going to talk about something slightly more serious. The Supreme Court created a high-powered committee about a year ago, a year and a half ago, which they said will work to see that which elephants are being slowly beaten to death or kept badly across India. And then this committee will take them to Vantara. Okay? This committee is headed by a retired Supreme Court judge. And unlike the retired Supreme Court judge of SIT who came in, did his work efficiently and got out, this one holds meetings all over India in every holiday place going. It pushes it from meeting to meeting to meeting, skips meetings if there is a problem, koi mar gaya, koi wedding hai, and has helped almost no elephants in 2 years. Now, I would really, through your madhyam, I would like to request the Supreme Court to either change the people on this high-powered committee, because I gave them a list of 19 elephants that are close to death. It has been 1 year. They have not been able to take a decision. In the meantime, 4 of them have died. They have not been able to help any animals because they just keep talking and talking and passing papers. So really, I would like them to emulate this SIT.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Moving on, the big story we're tracking from the national capital, the Delhi BMW crash that killed Finance Ministry officer Navjot Singh, getting murkier by the hour. Accused driver Gaganpreet Kaur has been arrested and has been sent to 2-day judicial custody. Blood sample report of the accused has now been reported to be negative for alcohol. Remember, the accused has filed a bail application and the hearing is set for September 17th. Meanwhile, Delhi police senior officials have said that the statement of Gaganpreet's husband is yet to be recorded and teams will further corroborate statements with evidence gathered, CCTV footages and statements of the witnesses as well. Police sources tell CNN News 18, confirming the key link that Gaganpreet's father, Javinder Singh, is a former director of the New Life Hospital, which basically is now fueling suspicions that the fact that the accused took the injured to a faraway hospital, the New Life Hospital, was indeed deliberate.
जो पूरा हादसा है, मैं इसकी पूरी बारीकी जानना चाहता हूँ, किस तरह से हादसा हुआ, किस तरह से इस मामले की तफ्तीश हुई और आखिरकार आरोपी को गिरफ्तार किया गया।
ये जो इंसिडेंट है ये कल का है, अराउंड 1:30 के आसपास, 1:30 बजे के आसपास का इंसिडेंट था, बट जो कॉल आती है हमारे पास वो थोड़ा लेट आती है, 2:20 के आसपास। हमारी इमीडिएटली टीम पहुंचती है ग्राउंड पे, उनको पता चलता है कि ट्रैफिक जाम की कॉल थी, बट यहाँ पे तो एक एक्सीडेंट हुआ है। एक्सीडेंट होने के बाद हम उसकी जो नियर बाय CCTV फुटेज है उनको एनालाइज करते हैं, क्राइम टीम को भेजते हैं, अपनी FSL टीम को भेजते हैं, जो भी एविडेंसेज हैं उसको कलेक्ट करने के लिए, जो साइट है और जो मोटर व्हीकल्स हैं उनका इंस्पेक्शन कराने के लिए। इवनिंग में उनका जहाँ पे GTB हॉस्पिटल था वहाँ से हमारे पास कॉल आती है कि इनको यहाँ पे एडमिट कराया गया है दिल्ली कैंट केस के अंदर। तो हमारे IO साहब वहाँ जाते हैं, वहाँ जाके जो विक्टिम है उनका भी स्टेटमेंट लिया जाता है एक और हॉस्पिटल से जहाँ पे उनको रेफ़र कर दिया गया था, और इमीडिएटली FIR उसके अंदर रजिस्टर करा दी जाती है। जो CCTV फुटेज है हमने उसमें प्रिजर्व करा दिया है। आज मॉर्निंग में जो एक्यूज़ है गगनप्रीत, उनको वहाँ से डिस्चार्ज कर दिया गया था हॉस्पिटल से। उनको हम लेके जो भी अपनी कार्रवाई होती है उसमें हमने मेडिकल करा दिया है, कोर्ट के सामने प्रोड्यूस कर दिया है। उनकी जो स्टेटमेंट लिखनी थी वो भी हमने कर दी है। तो मोस्टली हमारी तरफ से जो तफ्तीश है वो भी जारी है, बट प्रिलिमिनरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन तो इसमें ख़त्म हो गई है। जो हम इन्फॉर्मेशन ले सकते थे वो सारी अभी तक अवेलेबल है। फर्दर आगे अगर जो कुछ नया एविडेंसेस आता है तो उस पर काम करेंगे। और जो एक हॉस्पिटल है जहाँ पे ले जाया गया, जिसके ऊपर एलिगेशंस भी लग रहे थे कि उन्होंने हेल्प नहीं करा, उनकी CCTV फुटेज भी हमने मंगा लिया है। उनका भी जो अगर कुछ ऐसा रोल निकलेगा कि उन्होंने हेल्प नहीं करा या डिले करा तो उनका भी अकॉर्डिंगली हम करेंगे।
जब हम FIR पढ़ते हैं जो 10 घंटे के बाद रजिस्टर होती है, इंसिडेंट है 1:30 बजे का, FIR हो रही है रात को 11:30 बजे, उसका जो भी वर्जन है FIR का वो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के।
Thank you for staying with us. You're on Nation at 5. We now have breaking news coming in where Pakistan's foreign minister, while speaking to an international news channel, has admitted that India never accepted third-party mediation in the India-Pakistan conflict. He's gone on to say that even when Pakistan approached the United States, Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirmed India's stand that this has to be a bilateral issue.
Well, we don't mind, but India has categorically been stating it's a bilateral, so we don't mind bilateral. When we met 25th of July, bilateral meeting, myself with Secretary Rubio in Washington, I asked him what happened to those dialogue. Says India says that it is a bilateral issue. We don't. So we are not begging for anything. If any country wants dialogue, we are happy. We are welcome. We are a peace-loving country. We believe that dialogue is the way forward. But obviously, it takes two to tango. So unless India wishes to have dialogue, we can't force dialogue. We don't wish to force dialogue.
Any negotiation happening with India? Is there a third party involved? Are you open to third party involved?
Siddhant, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more details on this. Siddhant, this is exactly what India has been reiterating, that this is a bilateral issue. We will not take any third-party intervention, despite several attempts being made from the Trump administration, from the US president himself, where he claimed credit for brokering truce. This now only validates what India has been saying all along.
Well, that's right, Poonam. And in fact, before Pahalgam attack, before Operation Sindur also, India's position has always been consistent that that issue with Pakistan will be handled bilaterally. And perhaps India will never accept any mediation. And in fact, after Operation Sindur, There were many attempts by the US administration, perhaps taking claim for the mediation, for the ceasefire, etc., etc. But this is for the first time that Pakistani foreign minister is saying on record that he was told by Secretary of State Marco Rubio that India does not want any mediation. India wants to handle issue with Pakistan bilaterally. So also, Poonam, very important to highlight that Pakistan has been wanting the attention of India from a very long time. They did Pahalgam, they got some attention, they have succeeded to some extent. Now perhaps they're building pressure on United States to bring India to the tables. But India has made its position very clear that it will be handled bilaterally, and perhaps this was conveyed to Secretary Rubio, to the Trump administration at all levels, and perhaps Secretary Rubio then told this to Ishaq Dar that India will handle issues with Pakistan bilaterally. So as I said, that this has been a consistent position of the Indian government, and this was told to the Americans, and the Americans told same thing to Pakistan, because Pakistan has been looking for a dialogue or some kind of talks with India from a very, very long time. So they thought that they will route it through United States, and when Ishaq Dar asked about it, America said that they can't do anything. It's India who will bilaterally be dealing with it. So, in fact, US also at the government level, at the policy level, is very clear that India will handle Pakistan bilaterally, irrespective of what their leadership has been saying from last 3-4 months.
Right, Siddhant, thank you so much for getting us the latest. Moving on now, a 19-year-old student preparing for NEET medical entrance exam was allegedly shot dead by cattle smugglers in Uttar Pradesh's Gorakhpur. The student, identified as Deepak Gupta, was allegedly shot in the mouth. The killers crushed his head with their vehicle and then dumped his body 4 kilometers away. The incident took place on Monday afternoon when a group of cattle smugglers arrived there in 3 separate vehicles to steal livestock from his village. When the villagers raised an alarm, Deepak tried to intervene. He chased after the smugglers alone. However, the criminals managed to overpower him, forced him into their vehicle, drove him around for an hour before they shot him dead. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has now taken cognizance of the matter and has directed senior officers to visit the spot, meet the victim's family, and has ensured strict action against the culprits.
तो उनमें से एक गाड़ी जो है वहीं पे गांव में फंस गई थी, जिसके लोग वहां से भाग निकले, और दूसरी जो गाड़ी है उसको गांव के एक युवक के द्वारा चेस किया गया, जो कि उस गाड़ी पे जो भी तस्कर थे उन्होंने उसको अपने साथ ले लिया और ले जाकर के आगे पिकअप से धक्का दे दिया, जिससे उसके सर पे चोट आई है। और जो प्रथम दृष्टया देख करके बॉडी को समझ में आ रहा है, सर के पीछे उसके चोट लगी है सड़क पे गिरने से, जिसकी वजह से उसकी मृत्यु हो गई है। इस संबंध में परिवार से बात हुई है। परिवार के द्वारा जो तहरीर दी गई है उसमें सुसंगत धाराओं में मुकदमा पंजीकृत कर बॉडी का पंचायतनामा व पीएम की कार्रवाई की जा रही है। पीएम में जो भी आगे चीज आएगी आप लोगों को अवगत करवाया जाएगा। जो भी हमारे अभियुक्त थे जो कि इसमें आ रहे थे, उन सबकी पहचान करके उन सबके लिए हमारी 5 टीमें इस समय लगी हुई हैं। उनके जहां जहां के रहने वाले थे उन क्षेत्रों में हमारे द्वारा टीमों को भेज दिया गया है। सबकी गिरफ्तारी के लिए तत्काल हमारी टीम लगी है। हमको उम्मीद है कि जल्दी इनकी गिरफ्तारी कर ली जाएगी।
Ram Gopal, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more details. Ram Gopal, investigation कहाँ तक पहुंची है? क्या कोई पता लग पाया है कि ये कैटल स्मगलर्स कौन थे? क्या इनकी आइडेंटिटी एस्टैब्लिश की गई है? क्या कोई गिरफ्तारी हुई है अभी तक?
अभी तक जिस एक जो उन गैंग में शामिल था एक व्यक्ति, वो उसकी जो पहचान हुई है वो बिहार के गोपालगंज का रहने वाला है, और उसी के आधार पे कुछ 6 लोगों को अभी तक जिला प्रशासन ने आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया है और उन 6 लोगों की तलाश की जा रही है। एक व्यक्ति जिसको पुलिस रात में ग्रामीणों ने पकड़ा था, उसको इलाज के दौरान वो भी गायब हो गया, क्योंकि अभी पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट आई है। तो एसएसपी का कहना है कि उस व्यक्ति की भी तलाश की जा रही है, यानी कि टोटल 6 लोगों की तलाश की जा रही है। और इनका जो गैंग है वो गैंग बिहार के गोपालगंज का रहने वाला है, वहीं से इसका मुख्य अभियुक्त वहीं से जुड़ा हुआ है। तो अब पुलिस की पूरी तैयारी है कि बॉर्डर में ही इनको पकड़ लिया जाए, इनको बिहार बॉर्डर में क्रॉस ना किया जाए। तो उसके लिए 5 टीमें इनकी लगी हुई हैं। पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट भी अब आ गई है और दीपक गुप्ता का क्रिमिनेशन भी हो चुका है। पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट में ये सामने आया है कि हेड इंजरी के कारण ही उसकी मौत हुई है। और अब जिला प्रशासन के जो आला अधिकारी हैं अभी वो पीड़ित के घर गए। एडीजी, डीआईजी, कमिश्नर, डीएम, एसएसपी, ये सारे आला अधिकारी दोपहर से ही वहाँ जहाँ पे हंगामा हो रहा था वहाँ पे बने हुए थे। अभी जब क्रिमिनेशन की प्रक्रिया पूरी हुई है तो उनके घर जाके वहाँ पे मिले हैं और उसके बाद उस घटनाक्रम को भी समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि किस तरीके से रात के अंधेरे में ये जो कैटल तस्कर हुए हैं वो आते हैं और इस तरीके का हंगामा करते हैं और उस युवक को ले जाके उसकी बॉडी को 2 किलोमीटर दूर छोड़ते हैं। तो अब पुलिस पूरी ताकत अपनी झोंक रखी है कि जो 6 लोग इस पूरे घटनाक्रम में शामिल थे उनको जल्द से जल्द पकड़ा जाए और पकड़ने के बाद उनको सलाखों के पीछे किया जाए।
जी रामगोपाल, धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए एंड फॉर गेटिंग अस दोस डिटेल्स। From Uttar Pradesh to Karnataka now, where the Chief Minister has sparked a controversy. Siddaramaiah sparked a row with his remarks on religious conversions, saying that people leave Hinduism due to inequalities, including untouchability. He added that conversions are a personal right and inequalities exist in all religions. BJP, meanwhile, has hit right back, accusing him of trying to appease the top brass of the Congress party, including Rahul Gandhi, also questioning why he singled out Hinduism instead of every other religion. Political opponents have now demanded a clarification, calling his remarks a deliberate move to stoke communal debate.
ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಆಗೋದು ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲವರು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯ ಪರಿಣಾಮವಾಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ, ಹಿಂದೂ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಮಾನತೆ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ?
Question to Siddaramaiah: is there any equality in other religions? We know how women are treated in other religions. We know how the poor people are treated in other religions. And we know the controversies in their praying places. We know so many cases have been there. Siddaramaiah has got a blind eye. Only he tries to find fault only in Hindu religion just to please his boss Rahul Gandhi.
Harish joins us, getting us more details on this. Harish, any clarification from the Chief Minister himself or anybody from the Congress party, given the kind of uproar it's prompted?
Well, the Congress are trying to suggest that these nomenclatures or new subcastes that have been added in the new socio-economic survey is trying to reflect the ground reality of people who've converted and identify themselves as a certain caste, with Christian being the next word. And the Congress party saying that this survey wants to be comprehensive, wants to capture all this reality, and that's why the Backward Classes Commission has formed these new subcaste groups.
Right, Harish, we'll try and reconnect that line with you and get more details. But a political furor has been triggered over what Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. Siddaramaiah, said yesterday. Let's listen into some more reactions.
देखिए, कर्नाटक के मुख्यमंत्री सिद्धारमैया जी ने जो बातें कही हैं वो बिल्कुल सही है। बेसिकली हिंदू धर्म में बहुत सारी कुरीतियां हैं और उन कुरीतियों के मद्देनजर उसके सुधार के लिए ये बातें कही गई हैं। अब चूंकि बीजेपी का क्या है, वो तो हर बात में राजनीति ढूंढती है और उनकी आदत है ना कि किसी भी बातों पे वो चूड़ियां खनकाने लगती है। तो बीजेपी इस रूप में आलोचना कर रही है, लेकिन ये विषय आलोचना का नहीं बल्कि सुधार का है।
कांग्रेस के राजनीतिक एजेंडा में हिंदू धर्म और सनातन पद्धति के विषय में अपशब्द कहना है, गाली देना है। सिद्धारमैया जो कि कांग्रेस के मुख्यमंत्री हैं, वो अपने आकाओं के इच्छानुसार की बात कर रहे हैं। ये वही सिद्धारमैया है और ये वही कांग्रेस है जो जब मौका मिलता है तब मुसलमानों के तुष्टीकरण के लिए कुछ भी पार कर जाते हैं। कोई भी हद इनके लिए छोटी हो जाती है। और अब कांग्रेस फिर से अपने वही पुराने राजनीतिक आलाप पे आ गई है कि मुसलमानों का तुष्टीकरण करना है तो हिंदुओं को और सनातन पद्धति को गाली दो।
On that note, it's time for a quick break on this edition of Nation at 5. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Do stay tuned.
Brought to you by... This is News18 Network. India's largest news network.
Moving on, the big story we're tracking from the national capital, the Delhi BMW crash that killed Finance Ministry officer Navjot Singh, getting murkier by the hour. Accused driver Gaganpreet Kaur has been arrested and has been sent to 2-day judicial custody. Blood sample report of the accused has now been reported to be negative for alcohol. Remember, the accused has filed a bail application and the hearing is set for September 17th. Meanwhile, Delhi police senior officials have said that the statement of Gaganpreet's husband is yet to be recorded and teams will further corroborate statements with evidence gathered, CCTV footages and statements of the witnesses as well. Police sources tell CNN News 18, confirming the key link that Gaganpreet's father, Javinder Singh, is a former director of the New Life Hospital, which basically is now fueling suspicions that the fact that the accused took the injured to a faraway hospital, the New Life Hospital, was indeed deliberate.
जो पूरा हादसा है, मैं इसकी पूरी बारीकी जानना चाहता हूँ, किस तरह से हादसा हुआ, किस तरह से इस मामले की तफ्तीश हुई और आखिरकार आरोपी को गिरफ्तार किया गया।
ये जो इंसिडेंट है ये कल का है, अराउंड 1:30 के आसपास, 1:30 बजे के आसपास का इंसिडेंट था। बट जो कॉल आती है हमारे पास वो थोड़ा लेट आती है, 2:20 के आसपास। हमारी इमीडिएटली टीम पहुंचती है ग्राउंड पे, उनको पता चलता है कि ट्रैफिक जाम की कॉल थी, बट यहाँ पे तो एक एक्सीडेंट हुआ है। एक्सीडेंट होने के बाद हम उसकी जो नियर बाय CCTV फुटेज है उनको एनालाइज करते हैं, क्राइम टीम को भेजते हैं, अपनी FSL टीम को भेजते हैं, जो भी एविडेंसेज हैं उसको कलेक्ट करने के लिए, जो साइट है और जो मोटर व्हीकल्स हैं उनका इंस्पेक्शन कराने के लिए। इवनिंग में उनका जहाँ पे GTB हॉस्पिटल था वहाँ से हमारे पास कॉल आती है कि इनको यहाँ पे एडमिट कराया गया है दिल्ली कैंट केस के अंदर। तो हमारे IO साहब वहाँ जाते हैं, वहाँ जाके जो विक्टिम है उनका भी स्टेटमेंट लिया जाता है एक और हॉस्पिटल से जहाँ पे उनको रेफ़र कर दिया गया था, और इमीडिएटली FIR उसके अंदर रजिस्टर करा दी जाती है। जो CCTV फुटेज है हमने उसमें प्रिजर्व करा दिया है। आज मॉर्निंग में जो एक्यूज़ है गगनप्रीत, उनको वहाँ से डिस्चार्ज कर दिया गया था हॉस्पिटल से। उनको हम लेके जो भी अपनी कार्रवाई होती है उसमें हमने मेडिकल करा दिया है, कोर्ट के सामने प्रोड्यूस कर दिया है। उनकी जो स्टेटमेंट लिखनी थी वो भी हमने कर दी है। तो मोस्टली हमारी तरफ से जो तफ्तीश है वो भी जारी है, बट प्रिलिमिनरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन तो इसमें ख़त्म हो गई है। जो हम इन्फॉर्मेशन ले सकते थे वो सारी अभी तक अवेलेबल है। फर्दर आगे अगर जो कुछ नया एविडेंसेस आता है तो उस पर काम करेंगे। और जो एक हॉस्पिटल है जहाँ पे ले जाया गया, जिसके ऊपर एलिगेशंस भी लग रहे थे कि उन्होंने हेल्प नहीं करा, उनकी CCTV फुटेज भी हमने मंगा लिया है। उनका भी जो अगर कुछ ऐसा रोल निकलेगा कि उन्होंने हेल्प नहीं करा या डिले करा तो उनका भी अकॉर्डिंगली हम करेंगे।
जब हम FIR पढ़ते हैं जो 10 घंटे के बाद रजिस्टर होती है, इंसिडेंट है 1:30 बजे का, FIR हो रही है रात को 11:30 बजे, उसका जो भी वर्जन है FIR का वो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के भी अगेंस्ट है, उसके खिलाफ है, कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट कर रहा है, पूरा वर्जन ही कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट कर रहा है। अगर रैश एंड नेग्लिजेंट ड्राइविंग से किसी की डेथ है और कंट्री में वो बेलेबल ऑफेंस है, फिर वो बेलेबल ही है। आप उसको नॉन बेलेबल घुमा फिरा के कोई और सेक्शन ऐड करके करें, वो बड़ा अनफॉर्चुनेट हो जाता है। गाड़ी जो थी है BMW, वही पूरी टर्टल है। गाड़ी के अंदर जितने भी सवार हैं, हस्बैंड वाइफ बच्चे, वो भी गाड़ी के अंदर हैं। एयर बैग्स खुले हुए हैं, उनकी भी चोट लगी है। मुझे लग रहा है कि जो वर्जन FIR का है या IO साहब का है, कोर्ट में 2 दिन का वो हो गया है, JC हो गई है, JC
2 दिन का JC हुआ,
2 दिन की JC हो गई है। हमने बेल एप्लीकेशन फाइल कर दी है, बेल एप्लीकेशन की हियरिंग परसों।
So the key issue in this case is whether there was any intention on the part of the accused to delay taking the injured to the nearby hospital and instead take them to a hospital far away because it was connected to their family, and therefore try and maybe bury the case. So that is the big question. Why take the victim to a hospital which was 19 to 20 kilometers away? Now this is the route from the site of the accident to the New Life Hospital where the injured was taken. The Finance Ministry official and his wife, of course the official has succumbed, the wife has been undergoing treatment. So you can see this is a 21-kilometer stretch, and you can imagine 21 kilometers in Delhi takes a long time. On the day when this accident happened, it was non-peak hours on a Sunday, so they managed to make this journey in.
Welcome back to Nation at 5. We have a CNN News 18 exclusive for you. Top intel sources are now suggesting that Pakistan's flood response exposes the neglect of the Nankana Sahib, which is the birthplace of Baba Nanak. The army-centric management of Kartarpur indicates this continued use of religious optics for propaganda. That's what Indian intelligence sources are now telling our investigations editor Manoj Gupta. Over 20,000 acres of the Gurudwara land was diverted for commercial use is what we're given to understand. The diaspora in Pakistan is absolutely upset. Sikh villages are facing delayed relief and disaster response as well, even as we see several parts in Pakistan battle those floods. Pattern of a systematic neglect is coming to the fore is what we're learning. Intelligence, the apparatus here in India is also keeping a close watch. Anand Narasimhan now joins us, getting us more perspective, getting us more inputs on this. Anand, how is India looking at this kind of optics that the Pakistani administration seems to, or the Kartarpur administration seems to be undertaking?
It's not just about how Bharat is looking at this optics, how the world needs to see this dual-faced and this, treachery that the Pakistan establishment is committing against minorities in Pakistan. The world needs to observe that they have tried to weaponize Kartarpur Sahib and with the presence of military and overtly try to milk it. On the other hand, Nankana Sahib has been left to neglect, and people and the neighboring villages around it with their lands usurped, like you mentioned, more than 20,000 acres of Gurudwara owned land now being handed over to private contractors. But when all of Nankana Sahib was submerged because of the floods, there was hardly any relief that came from the state, or even the military did not turn attention. It was NGOs like Khalsa Aid and others who stepped up, and there was a huge amount of outcry among the Sikh community globally, which highlighted the apathy that was on display by the Pakistanis and the Pakistani establishment. And somewhere it looked deliberate because the neighboring regions were attended to, areas where mosques or areas where largely Pakistani Muslim population was inhabiting those areas were attended to, but the areas around Nankana Sahib were neglected. The other thing is the bunds and the dams which are supposed to ensure there is protection to the Gurudwara land and the Gurudwara area were all left decrepit and needed huge amounts of repair, and they were literally crushed in the onslaught of these floods. And these pictures themselves are shocking. How is it that they could allow so much of water to come across the entire Gurudwara land and nothing was done about it for many, many days? So these questions remain. So this is what has happened. And this is not the first time that Nankana Sahib or anything close to Raja Ranjit Singh in the interiors of Punjab have been left to arson, vandalism and also decay and damage. Whereas Kartarpur Sahib, they guarded closely and they tried to weaponize in terms of trying to influence the pilgrims who come there via Bharat, and also send in their own spies and their own agents across with some of these jathas. So somewhere this kind of a behavior by the Pakistanis also upholds Bharat's own decision not to issue visas and permits to these jathas, fearing the safety and the upkeep of these kind of shrines for the Sikhs by the Pakistani military.
Right, Anand, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. Shifting focus to an exclusive conversation that my colleague Pallavi Ghosh had with Union Minister Hardeep Puri. He spoke about a range of issues, including the GST reforms that will kick in from the 22nd of this month, Prime Minister Modi's Swadeshi vision, and why Rahul Gandhi's vote theft allegation has no legs.
You know, I'm looking at the Fitch, Moody, all projections. I'm also looking at a very robust decision-making process when it comes in from your government. I see the Prime Minister, for example, making it very clear to the world कि हम झुकेंगे नहीं. Has that been your experience as a cabinet minister, or whenever you've kind of interacted with him?
See, madam, I've had the privilege of knowing the Honorable Prime Minister much before he became Prime Minister. I had the privilege of hosting him when I was permanent representative of India to the UN and international organization in Geneva. He was the chief minister. But I've also had the privilege of knowing him before he became chief minister. So in a sense, my association with him goes over half a century. In fact, more than half a century. And I can tell you, I have met a lot of people. I was a civil servant for 39 years. I worked with maybe a slight exaggeration, but I was a civil servant When Narasimha Rao ji was Prime Minister, I had interaction with him. I've attended meetings in his room. When Shri Rajiv Gandhi was Prime Minister, I have interacted with him. With several others, Deva Gowda ji also. And I can tell you with confidence that there are some qualities about this Prime Minister which makes him stand out. One is the level of detail and hard work that goes into his decision making. His commitment, his dedication, that is everybody can see. I mean that he works non-stop. But if you ask for a meeting with him, that subject of the meeting you will have to indicate, and he would have already done his research on it. I once came out of a meeting from him which lasted about 45 minutes, and I had sent points on which I needed instruction. And when I came out, one of his closest aides asked me, आपको बताया उन्होंने कि आपकी 45 मिनट के लिए हमारी 2.5 घंटे की क्लास ली गई? I mean, how many people do you know in the world from which you come, the world of media, entertainment, you know, the creative arts, the corporate world, academia, who do it? And some of us, I can say with all humility, we learn. Now, whenever I have a program full, before the program, I'm asking my colleagues, भाई इसका क्या agenda है, इसमें क्या मांगने वाले हैं, पहले पूछ लो subject क्या है, और उससे वाले क्या बात होगी. That is one. Secondly, the second trait I find in him is that he has thought things through years ahead. In the month of 2019, May, August, Article 370, the action came. I've kept quiet since then till now, till this book has come out very recently. And I've never revealed my role in it. It says here on page 227, which is assessing first hand. This is the run-up to that. There's a section on page 227 which says the unofficial ambassadors. This is the book, page 227. It said, in the period spanning 2016 to 18, Modi deployed multiple individuals to visit Jammu and Kashmir and ascertain the prevailing public mood and ground level sentiment. Among those who were sent, Modi personally instructed Hardeep Puri, an ex-Indian Foreign Service officer, and later in Modi's cabinet. Now in 2016, I was not anywhere near the Modi cabinet.
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. In a bold and unprecedented diplomatic gesture, India refused a customary handshake with Pakistani team during the Asia Cup match, signalling a significant escalation in the tensions between the two countries. The move, which has drawn global attention, has left Pakistan fuming as they never saw it coming. Frankly, neither did anyone in India. But this symbolic act reflects India's growing impatience with Pakistan's actions because Islamabad refuses to mend its ways. Unable to respond on and off the field, Pakistan